In this video, I'm going to cover how to use Zapier to automate requesting a deposit from your customers once they sign your PaintScout proposal. So in this case, you'll obviously need Zapier. So you go to zapier.com, sign up for a free account, and you can get started with this. So first of all, what we want to do is create the trigger, and this is going to be using the PaintScout integration. You might need to reach out to PaintScout to because this is a private integration, so you might need to be invited to this. So if you reach out to the PaintScout help team, they'll get you access to this. But once you have been invited to this integration, you can connect your account by clicking here under choose account and connecting your account. Now I already have this connected, but basically it's going to pop up a login screen so you can connect your connection to this to Zapier. And then the event that you want to do is choose quote status changed. So quote status change is the trigger you want to select. So then under setup trigger, you want to actually have the quote selected, and then the quote status needs to be accepted. So basically this is telling whenever a PaintScout quote is accepted, it's going to trigger this automation. And then you can select if you want to be specific to interior or exterior. In this case, we're going to go with all types. And then once you're done with that, you can just hit test, and this is going to load more here, and it's going to load some examples of previously accepted quotes to trigger this automation. So I've done that, and I'm going to hit continue here. Now the next thing that we want to do is you want to have a standardized kind of deposit percentage that you take. A lot of painting businesses do anywhere from 20% down to 50% down. So whatever that is for your business, this is where this comes into play. So I'm actually going to go down to this one here. So you're going to choose an action for action number 2, and I have more stuff in this app because I'm doing a lot more things. We do a lot of different things in automation for painters, but I'm just covering how to do your deposit. So you want to choose an action for using the formatter by Zapier app. So you want to select that, and then also for the event you want to choose numbers for the type of event, and then you hit continue, and then you go to the setup action here, and you're going to choose perform math operation, and we're going to choose multiply here, and then the input is going to be from the first step. It's going to be the total balance due. So when you do your PaintScout setup, there should be an option to allow to charge an invoice, or I'm sorry, charge a deposit. And so you're going to choose you click into this field and look for totals and select the balance due. Here it is. So you're going to select that, and that will be the first input. So this is what you need as a total from the customer for the job, and then we're going to multiply it by your deposit percentage. So in this case 0.2, so 20% deposit, and then we're going to hit continue. And so what this is going to do is going to take this and multiply by that, and so it gives us an output of 368. And now from here we're going to create a QuickBooks Online customer. So QuickBooks Online is the app, then you want to create a customer as the event, and then obviously you're going to connect QuickBooks Online here, so it's going to prompt you for your login credentials so you can connect it to QuickBooks to Zapier. And then on the setup action, you're going to plug in the customer's information to create a customer in QuickBooks Online, because before you can invoice a customer, they'll actually need to already be in QuickBooks Online. So you put their first name and last name, referring again to the first step. First name, last name here, email, So all this information comes from PaintScout. So basically, Zapier is going to do the data entry for creating this contact for you. Then you map over the address and any other information you need to push over to create that customer. And then for the next step, we're going to create the invoice in QuickBooks Online. So QuickBooks Online again as the app, create invoice as the action, and then under setup action, we're going to refer to a couple different places here. First, under customer, we're going to refer to the previous step ID. So if you refer to the previous step, there should be so for customer, we'll refer to the previous step, customer ID. So if you click in the field and then show all options, you should see something called ID. So that customer ID is going to create an invoice under this customer ID. And the ID is a unique identifier for every customer, so that's why we're referring to that. And then we, for the email, we refer to step 1, the trigger email, and refer to the contact's email address here. And then the due date is, I'm going to put that to today. For the product and service, if you have, this is however you have it set up in your QuickBooks Online. Customer deposits a common one, so you have it mapped to a liability account, or maybe you just accept deposits as an income account. Whatever way you do that, that's kind of up to you and how you track your accounting. And then the quantity would be 1, and then the amount would be the output from the multiplication action, where we multiplied 0.2 times the total PaintScout proposal. So we click on this field again, and then we refer to the output here. In this case, this 368. And then from there, if you're a sales tax state, you'll need to put some information about sales tax. And then the next step is where you actually send the invoice, because when you create the invoice, it doesn't actually send it to the customer, but you can actually send it to the customer as well, so that they can actually pay it. You'll need to have QuickBooks payments set up in your QuickBooks Online to accept a payment if you want them to pay the invoice online. In this case, to send it, we would click this field, and then we would select the previous step, the invoice ID from the previous step, and have that populate there in that field. And then the email is going to be the customer email from the first step. And then once you have that, you have automated sending an invoice. Once that proposal is accepted, you'll probably also need to have some sort of automated email sent to them to thank them and let them know that there's an invoice for them to pay. But that's actually how to do the auto invoice setup for a deposit. If you need help doing this, go to automationforpainters.co and we can help you set this up in your system.